Okay, part 2 of the 7 continents. So Oceania is the actual continent, and it includes New Zealand. I did not know that. I just learned that from Miss Carson. Australia, what I always think about when I think of Australia is all the marsupials that live there. A marsupial is an animal that holds its baby in its pouch. Some of those examples are koalas and kangaroos. They also have platypus, wombats, and penguins even live in Australia. And Australia is the only place that actually has marsupials. So let's look at Australia on Google Earth. While we are zooming out and looking at Australia, did you know that Australia has more kangaroos than people? And that kangaroos can grow to be 6 feet tall, and they have massive feet. So here's Australia. And something that I want to show you in Australia is the Sydney Opera House. You've probably seen this on Finding Nemo, or it's on one of Mary-Kate and Ashley's famous movies as well. That's actually how I know about it. So let's drop the little guy and check it out. So we're right where Nemo is, Sydney, Australia. And that's what it looks like. Looks like we're on another boat. Another thing that I want to show you in Australia is the Great Barrier Reef. We looked at that on Google Maps. Now we're going to look at it on Google Earth. It is beautiful. Look at that beautiful water. Okay, it's at that very tip of Australia, and this is all the Great Barrier Reef. See all of that? All right, now we're going to look at our last continent. It is Antarctica. Antarctica is the 5th largest continent, and it's the only continent where people don't live there permanently. The people who do go there are scientists that are studying it, and they only live there temporarily. There's no countries in Antarctica, and it's completely surrounded by water. It's surrounded by the Southern Ocean. It is the coldest and windiest place on Earth. Heavy snowfall is common in this area, but it's actually considered the driest continent, and it's even considered the world's largest desert. Most animals migrate away from the continent because in the winter it is just so cold that they cannot live there. But some animals that you might see in the summer months would be penguins, seals, whales, seabirds, polar bears. So let's look at Antarctica. It's at the very bottom. So this is what we would consider the South Pole. So the North Pole, where Santa lives, is at the top. That's the Arctic. And Antarctica is at the very bottom. So it doesn't get any sunlight, and that's why it is so cold. The water there is very icy. See how it's at the bottom? And notice how it's all white. It's all white because it's covered in snow. All right, so we have learned about the 7 different continents. That's our geography lesson. What you're going to do now after completing this Edpuzzle is you're going to complete a Google slide that will be on Otis, and it's called Identifying the 7 Continents. So what you'll do is there's a different slide for all the different continents. First, it asks you what are continents, and then you'll have a slide like this. It says North America, and it says, tell me one fact about North America that you learned from the Edpuzzle video. So all you have to do is give one fact about all the different continents that you learned, and then you're going to drag the picture of that continent to this area. So go through here and find which one of these is the continent that we just looked at on this Edpuzzle. You'll take it and you'll drag it. You can make it a little bit bigger by dragging the corners. And there you go. If you have any questions, let me know. Hope you guys have a great weekend.